Okay, so we're back here on the back of this piece of property. We've got a trail set over there that's still frozen in the ground. We got a dirt hole up there, doesn't look like there's anything in it. And we got a dirt hole right here at this gate. And coyote here this morning. And looks like a male. And looks like the fur's not too bad a shape. But this was just a dirt hole. You can see the ground is pretty frozen still. It's warmer today, but 14 right now. I think it's supposed to be in the 40s today. So hopefully the ground's gonna thaw out some. But we'll take care of this coyote and we'll reset this and get it back in the ground. All right, so here's the remake from the coyote catch. All I did was put the hole back in place. I just threw some of the dirt out of the trap bed up on the back. She kind of wallered out this where the trap bed is, kind of wallered it out into like a big old thing. So now it's kind of like a step down, almost like a modified RJ set, which is fine. It'll be great. And I took some scat that she left behind right there, and then I had some old scat from before. So we got two different kinds of scat. I put a little bit of Highway 61 predator bait down in a hole, along with some Dunlap's Death Gland coyote lure. No urine, because it all smells like a coyote. And Athena caught a mouse yesterday in the field next to the shop and brought it to me. So I put a mouse down in this hole. So there's a mouse and a little bit of bait down in this hole. So there ought to be all kinds of good stuff for the coyotes to smell and want to get down in there. So we'll see how this goes. That set right up there on the little trail had been messed with. Looked like probably a coon had messed with it. And so we put it back in the ground. You know how they'll kind of get their hands in that nice soft dirt. Everything else is frozen. So they got their hands in there and kind of just flipped the trap up a little bit. So we put it back in, and the bait was not missing or anything like that. So it's good to go. And we'll see how these do over the next couple days. Okay, so what we got here is we got a dirt hole. Here's the dirt hole, here's the trap bed, and here's the trap that's flipped over like this. This is almost always a coon. And probably what it is these coons are coming out of this big dozer deck right here. And there's a creek right down here, right over there. And you got this big food plot area in here that goes all up through this way. In fact, this morning there was a dozen deer out here browsing around. So this was almost certainly a coon. The ground is completely frozen. So it got up here, started feeling around in that soft dirt, and just flipped the trap over. So we'll reset this and hopefully catch a coyote here next time. So where we are is we're in this big field, and what we have is we have this big finger that's sticking out. It's only about maybe 20 yards wide or so of thickets and brush and trees, and it's a field on that side. It's a big field on this side, as you can see, and then this little finger goes back up to some more wooded areas. And then we have this low spot that goes over to this big fence line with tall grass on the other side. It's all brush and thickets and brambles and everything along that fence. And what's happening is the coyotes are using this low spot, and they're coming up through this low spot, and then they're coming over to this finger, and they're going up and down. And then there's also a trail here that goes right across the top of this hill and goes to another finger and a pond. So there's some scat here, and this is not a typical Ozarks set location. We don't have a lot of locations like this. It's just generally too mountainy. This is more of like a western kind of location where you have a finger that's sticking out. You got like this little low spot here and this little low spot here. And then you got another little low spot right here. And so you got all these low spots that are coming together, and all these things are coming together. And as you can see, where is it? There's some scat here, and there's some old scat right here where I was standing. And these cows are actually moving up and down through here. So we're gonna put a set in. The ground is frozen, so it was very difficult to dig a trap bed and to get any kind of a dirt hole. So the dirt hole really kind of sucks, to be quite honest. I had to basically just chip it out of there and then use a stake driver to try to get it down in there. But I do have a little bit of a dirt hole, and I put some soul taker down there because it's kind of a little more goopy, and so that way they can't really get it out so easy. And then I put a little punch hole over here and a little punch hole over here just to add a little bit of spice to it because my dirt hole sucks so bad. And put different lures. I put some Bounty Hunter in one and some Catch Brothers Evanescence in the other. So there's completely different things. And then put a trap out here in front. I was able to actually get the earth anchor in. So it's earth anchored here. And we'll let this ride and see how it goes. Okay, so we're on the edge of this big hayfield here. And what we have is we have this peninsula that's sticking out, this finger. You can see there's all these big boulders and rocks and everything piled up in here, and there's all these brambles and brush piles, and right there's a pond, and you can see there's a big trail that's coming right along here, and it's running right through there and goes right into the middle, right through there, and winds around to right over there where there's an old dead cow. It's only been there a couple days. It looks like it's just been picked on by some crows and stuff. It looks like the cows have not found it yet. But what I'm betting on is that over the next couple days, as it warms up, that old cow is going to start to really decompose. It's supposed to be 50 tomorrow, and that old cow it's frozen now, but it's going to start decomposing. These cows are going to start moving in here. So what I did is I put myself a trail set right here, as they're going to run this little trail right through here, coming right through here. And I put myself a little trail set right in there in this little trail. Blended it in nice and good. And we're going to see how that goes. I put a little bit of coyote scat there next to it and just a little bit of urine on there. And then I put an itty bitty little bit of lure in a hole on the trail and just covered it all up. And that's all I've got. Just something to slow them down just a little bit as they come trotting along and they're like smelling that old cow or whatever they're doing, just looking for critters along all this brush. And it's going to slow them down just a bit, I hope, that they're going to get caught in this trail set.